Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Love Kind Good. Um, so for those who have not been around here, what I like to do is kind of pick a topic that's been a central theme of my week or even my life and just kind of expand on that in like these weekly update videos. Um, there are some things in the works that I'm hoping to expand a little bit more on in the near future. But for right now, let's just say that we're going to continue to do these weekly update videos. Uh, and so I'm going to continue doing those, but I think there may be some changes coming in the near future. Stay tuned. But today it's so beautiful here. There's a lot of bees flying around, so if you see me like do like that, that's the reason why. But it's so beautiful. I thought maybe today we would film outside and just see. So I got this microphone because I thought maybe filming outside it would be harder to hear. I think the actual camera is actually a little bit further away from me. I'm actually on a park blanket out here that I made. Um, and so I had something interesting come up this week, and that's what I want to talk about this week. So many of you know that I am on a spiritual journey. And when I first started talking about this to my friends, uh, the comment was made, "Oh, do you mean woo woo stuff?" And so, and yes, I am talking about woo woo stuff. And, and so now, uh, so now it's kind of become like an inside joke between me and all my friends. Like one friend frequently says, "Oh my God, Josh is now woo-wooer than I am," and things like that. But that's what I want to talk about this week. Is I kind of want to talk about your friend group and your circle getting smaller when you start to explore and become more woo-woo. Um, so many of you know that last year in February, I went to Morelia, Mexico with my then husband and my best friend and her husband. And during that trip, she told me, she was already spiritually expanded by this point, or activated, or whatever you want to call it, awakened, and and I wasn't, and so I wasn't really in a position to like listen to uh, what are the planets doing and energy work and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, I was just wasn't there yet. And anyway, so during that trip she had said like 6 months from now our life's going to change, and about that same time uh, my ex and I were going through some issues, and that's when I think I've told this story before, but we were looking for someone that could help us rekindle our marriage, and instead I found a Reiki healer. And uh, that finding him, Amalandu, that finding him was what kind of activated me. I'm sure Rachel had a huge part of that because, all along this period of time that she had been activated, she had been telling me about it. And I knew that she was into Reiki. And so when I had heard about this guy doing Reiki, I was like, sure, let's do it. And man, the one day I'll play the recording for you, but when I left his house, I literally recorded what happened because it was so profound. And so um and so that kind of started the journey. And when you when I started this journey, um I had a husband, family, friends, and my life kind of looked a lot different than it does today. However, uh, how my life looks today is a direct result of the fear that I had to go through to get to this point. But I should probably just get to the point. So, going down a path of woo woo ness, uh, your circle gets very narrow. Um, in fact, it can get very lonely. So so I started this journey a year ago, and at the time I was in Mexico, and I didn't have a very large support network, besides friends and things like that. But like when I started to explore the healing part, my world started getting smaller. You know, I realized that I had to start shedding people that no longer resonated with the direction that my life was going. You know, people who would make sly comments about uh you know, Reiki or breath work or ecstatic dance. And um yeah, and so then I came back to the States, and my world got even smaller. You know, I had Rachel here, which thank goodness. So um but my world in general just got smaller. You know, I think what it was, I also started to go inside. uh like I started to seek healing within myself. And so over these last few months, like say 7 8 months, there was a lot of inside work that had to be done. Like you know, in October last year, I went to Lisbon to go on some spiritual retreats, and the work that I did there was just freaking mind blowing. I mean, meeting with shadow workers, ceremonies, just a whole retreat. It was just freaking incredible. And, you know, I met some incredible people along the way there too. There's a group of three of us, Natalie and Roar and me, and we call ourselves the Miracles and Magic. And they're kind of my, you know, my accountability partners. But when you first start on this journey of woo woo ness and your immediate friends and family, uh, they don't always understand the journey you're on. Uh, you know, I'm very fortunate that my mom, which I'm actually a little surprised. So, mom, if you're listening, my mom is one of my biggest fans and supporters. And I know that some of the ideas and practices that I have, um, she may not be able to resonate with, or it may possibly conflict with some of her beliefs. But I think we've been able to find some commonality, and that we're both on this journey to seek God and spirituality. No matter what you call it or how you get there, that's the ultimate goal, is to find peace and happiness. Sorry, something flew on me. Um, and so yeah, so she's kind of become my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. And you know, I'm really happy to have that, because had I not had any kind of support, or you know, like, or love, or you know, um, whatever, like, it would have just been way lonelier. You know, it's funny, I actually speak to my mom now more than I probably have ever have. And then, you know, I have Rachel here, but you know, my world got really small. And so now, though, now I'm finding my voice. I'm becoming more confident and comfortable in my spirituality. You know, I'm building that foundation that is no longer shakable by uh, weak, unawakened. I don't know what you want to call people who aren't on a spiritual journey. Um, them people, those people. But you know, I'm in a position now where I can speak openly, and you know, honestly, like, it doesn't matter to me what other people think of me anymore. That was something that I worked on releasing during this eclipse portal. We talked about that, because it doesn't matter to me what they think of me anymore. This is my path, my journey. You know, it's the YOLO. You only have one life. You only, whatever, you only, I don't even know what YOLO means. I'm showing my age now. Uh, so yeah, and so, but now what's incredible though is my community is now starting to expand, now that I found my niche and I found my people. Um, uh, and so slowly I'm bringing people. And then also, you know, I'm back in Charlotte, so I'm around some of the people that I've, you know, kind of grew up around, and I'm learning about some of them becoming spiritually awakened. And I'm all like, and so now we're like rekindling and getting like together, and like just talking, and it's incredible. And like, you know, this journey of spirituality is so massive. Like, I mean, there are, there's astrology, there's tarot readers, there's physical healers like Reiki healers, breathwork healers, there's crystal healers, there's um, there's numerology, just a ton. Like once you like open up and you find like you're like what speaks to you, the journey just gets so much better. Like for example, I freaking love breathworks, like breathwork sessions with the crystal bowls. Uh, just it blows my mind. I can literally feel the vibration in every cell of my body, and so that's something that I prioritize. I prioritize going to those type of sessions because it's what brings me happiness and healing. Um, but slowly, my circle is expanding, and I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but there are some additional changes coming up in my life, and um, well, let's just talk about like the last year. I was living in Mexico. I had all my friends down there. I had a breathwork instructor. I had a yoga teacher, and then I had to leave those people and come to Charlotte. I chose to leave those people and come to Charlotte. And then here in Charlotte, I have found sound healers. I found, yoga teachers. I have found my footing here again. Oh, another thing that I can't even believe I forgot to mention it, but ecstatic dance. I am not a dancer, but that just, oh my gosh, like the freedom that comes from dancing in front of a bunch of strangers and you don't care what they think about you is probably one of the more powerful things that I've ever done. So I'm very thankful to Colleen and the ecstatic dance community here for supporting me and welcoming me into their container. It's been a truly magical experience. Um, yeah, and so that was the point of today's video, is that when you begin this spiritual journey, uh, it's going to become very lonely, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, you're finding your footing, you're finding what works for you, what you enjoy, you're building your knowledge so that way, you're more comfortable. I had no idea what some of these things were, and like, uh, I'm still learning all the freaking like planets and astrology stuff. So, because I enjoy that, and I'm so thankful for the people who post on social media for free that are educating me, um, because there's so much to that I have yet to learn. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. But anyways, but now that I'm starting to find my freaking voice and I'm learning to lean into the discomfort, I'm learning to kind of let things go more easily. And, I am learning what makes me happy and what I want out of life. And it's incredible how when you get to that place where you figure out, maybe it's not even figure out, but where you start leaning into the universe guiding and directing your direction, how things just start falling into place, and how people come into your life, and it's just incredible, like that people are placed in your path for a reason at the perfect moment. And you know what I mean, life, there's a lot of uncertainty with life, but what I've learned is to trust. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I don't get nervous and that I don't have freak out moments and I don't have moments where I want to try to control the situation. Like the other night, we had made arrangements to go to dinner, me and a friend, and then someone else was staying the night at my house, and I was like, oh crap, like, do they want to go to dinner? And then I was like, so I like started like going to this like mode, like freak out mode, and it was like, who the hell is this Josh? I don't like that Josh. But it was like, I was like texting one friend, "Hey, are we still going to dinner tonight?" while texting the other friend saying, "Hey, do you want to go to dinner with us tonight?" And then like it turned out that the one I had made arrangements with couldn't do it, and then it turned out that the one that was staying at my house had already eaten, and it was just like I started getting into a frenzy trying to coordinate it. Luckily, I caught myself and was like, "Whoa, okay, we don't like this, and we don't need to control that. Like, we can." So it was quite the lesson. Anyways, I digress. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to share some upcoming news with you in future videos. But right now, just know that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I'm so glad that you guys have joined me on this journey. And I don't know where it's going to take us, but time will tell. So you guys take care. Until next time. Bye.